Hello, Lindsay. How are you today?
I'm feeling energetic today, Aubrey. How about you?
Good. Yeah, you don't look tired. Does anyone ever tell you look tired? That's the worst.
Actually, yeah, I just got that like 2 nights ago.
I know this came up in a recent episode, right? Where we sort of
Yeah.
mentioned that like, oh, don't tell people they look
Yeah.
tired. And we promised this follow-up with sort of phrases we should avoid when referring to someone's appearance. So I'm excited to get into this.
I'm excited because this concept is so culturally important. The
Yes.
person that told me I looked tired 2 nights ago, I was at a dinner with a community meditation group. It was at an Indian restaurant, and the guy was he's from India, but he lives in the U.S. and works in the U.S. And he said it out of care, right? Of like, oh, you look
definitely.
so tired now.
No
You're
offense
feeling tired in the
intended.
evenings, and it was a conversation starter. He wanted to know about my life, so I think it's really cultural. This
It's
episode.
absolutely very cultural. So a lot of what we're sharing is about American culture, like what this is like in the United States. This could be very different in your culture. And that's sort of what causes the problem. You might be a lot more comfortable commenting on someone's physical appearance than you should in the United States.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Really good stuff. So I'm glad we're covering this today for our listeners. We're going beyond language and into culture. And of course, always sticking with connection. We'll show you why these break the connection. But first, guys, hit the follow button right here on the show. If you're on Apple, if you are in Spotify, we want to see you following the show so we drop into your listening queue we do publish 5 days a week, Aubrey, over here.
Yes,
don't
I
we?
know. It's amazing. 5 episodes a week. That's got to be a record.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a
Not everyone
record.
else does that.
It's probably a record. Plus, if you like to watch us on YouTube, that's another way to learn. You could hit subscribe on YouTube. So you have lots of options, but make sure you are right there with us on a regular basis. Okay?
Yes. Watch on YouTube to make it worth me doing my hair and makeup.
Very nice. Very nice. So here in this episode, we have a number of categories of types of things you want to stay away from. And then we'll say exact things you don't want to say, right? What not to say.
Exactly. Yeah. So the first one we're talking about is health or physical condition. So this, first of all, in the United States, these can feel very intrusive or judgmental.
Yes.
And that you may accidentally be referring to private health issues that someone would not want pointed out or would not feel comfortable discussing.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Intrusive. It's penetrating the privacy bubble that in the US we construct around ourselves, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So we're going to share some specific examples. And a lot of these, like you said, Lindsay, rarely is offense intended. You don't mean to tell someone that they look sick or tired. You just are maybe starting a conversation or just sort of stating something that just seems matter of fact to you. But in United States culture, this often would be interpreted as a criticism or as intrusive.
Yeah. And I just want to do a little gut check on the intensity of this. So if you say these things, it's not like people are like, oh, I can't believe you said that. Oh my gosh, we can't talk. Right. I'll never talk to you again. This is more slightly offensive and slightly annoying, somewhere between offensive and annoying for people to get these questions, right?
Absolutely. They might be like, okay, rude.
I know, right? And then they might try to steer the question. They'll probably keep talking to you. It's just a little bit of a turnoff, I would say.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So the first one we mentioned is just, you look tired, right? So just definitely anything that could at all be considered negative about someone's appearance, we would want to avoid.
Yeah, because it can't go in any good direction. They have to say, oh, yeah, I am. I've been working a lot. I haven't been sleeping. Like, where can that go that's good, right?
Or, oh, I'm not tired. I'm just not wearing makeup or something.
Right, or something. And I know, again, that the person's just saying it because they want to show that they care. But there are a lot of other ways to show that you care. You've been listening. You want to ask them about something they participated in last week. Maybe they had a job interview, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to say like, you look tired, or are you tired? Or maybe something like, are you sick? Because if in the United States, usually if someone is sick, for example, if they have cancer, they would want to be the one to share that with you. They wouldn't want to have to share it because you have pointed out that they don't look healthy.
100%. They should have full agency with that.
To share it when they're ready, when and if they're ready, right?
Yeah. The next one that I find extremely annoying is less offensive, more annoying. Just right? Like, your face is red, or you look so red. Are you okay? Or your face is flushed. This is annoying. My face gets red sometimes if I'm drinking alcohol or if I'm embarrassed, and like, trust me, I know if my face is red, right?
Oh yeah, I feel it. It's my face also will get so red if I'm embarrassed or nervous.
Yes.
And I've had people say this to me and point it out, and that
It's
doesn't help. I
really-
know.
And usually it's not just they're saying it to you, they're saying it to you in front of a group. So then everyone looks at
Absolutely.
you, which means you get more red.
Makes it
which-
worse. Yes, I
So
know. Don't say this to
people,
people.
please. Just like,
I
let's
agree.
make a public service announcement. Okay?
Yes, I agree. I'm saying this with my chest. It's a phrase that means like I really feel strongly that no one should ever say that to someone else.
Just leave it alone. They know what's going on. They'll calm down and just let them be. Okay. That's it.
Yes. And then it's interesting because physical condition also encompasses weight. And even if you're trying to compliment someone by saying something like, oh, you look like you've lost a lot of weight.
Right.
This can move into our next bucket. But yeah, even if you're trying to compliment someone
Yeah.
or tell them they look healthy, they might not take it well.
Exactly. It would be a gamble. This one, with some people, they'd like it. I mean, I like to hear that because but then I think this person pays a lot of attention to my weight, right? I will overthink
Which I don't
it now,
love.
right? Because what about if in 2 weeks they come in and she thinks, oh, she's gained it back, you know?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
again, any kind of signal that you're like really paying attention to the person's weight is better to avoid because people are more than their weight, right?
Exactly. And the final one in this health bucket is asking someone if they're pregnant or congratulating them for being pregnant. There's nothing worse than congratulating someone on a pregnancy and then they say, oh, I'm not pregnant.
I'm not pregnant. Be
so
careful.
it's just better to not ever do that. Don't assume.
Totally. This happens in the movies sometimes. You may have seen it happen in real life.
Absolutely.
Avoid. So the bucket here is really physical, right? Health or physical condition. What would be the next bucket?
Yeah. So we kind of touched in this because it is related to health as well, if you're trying to complement health. But the next one is body size, shape, or weight. Yes. So like we said, even if you're trying to compliment, if you say something like, wow, you're so skinny now, you're still comparing to maybe what they used to look like. So even a compliment could land badly.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a really pertinent episode because a lot of people are losing weight on weight loss drugs right now, right? It's happening all over the US. And so we need to know this, right? Yeah. You may run into a coworker who might be on something. Definitely don't ask them if they're on those drugs, of course.
No, it's not something, at least in American culture, it's not something to point out.
No.
Yeah.
Just leave it. Exactly. And then even worse, you've filled out. I don't know. Essentially, you mean you've gained weight is what you're saying.
Right. And sometimes people will say this meaning it as a compliment. If someone was really skinny or sickly looking and they look healthier now, there are several ways you could say that none of them should be said, right? You're still commenting on someone's body size or weight, which at least in American culture is unwelcome.
Yeah, I mean, a good alternative there could be, looks like you've gained some muscle tone, right? I mean, again, staying away from body size, shape, weight in general, but if you have to say something, I'd rather have someone say to me, like, it looks like you're lifting weights. Like, have you been lifting weights?
And it's interesting to think about who you could say that to. I would absolutely say that to my sister, a very close friend. I would never say it to a coworker. Because I'm still commenting on their body, which is really unwelcome in U.S. culture.
Exactly. And then that outfit makes you look bigger or smaller. Ugh, gosh.
Right. It's interesting because I'll hear this sometimes because people are thinking I'm complimenting the outfit really, but depending on how you say it, you could actually be commenting about their size, their body shape, or saying something like you don't look like you work out, or clearly you don't like to exercise. Like all of these, you would think you'd never hear them, but then shockingly sometimes we do.
Yeah. What do you think about flipping that into just like, I love your outfit? What do you think about that? Because that's more
different.
about the clothing, right? That's not so much about,
Yeah. And we will go into this a little bit just at the very end, sort of share like, what can you compliment? Because sometimes we do want to pay someone a compliment, but it really shouldn't be about their physical appearance. Yeah,
totally. And then saying something, don't say you don't look like you work out, right? If let's say I leave work and I'm going to the gym. I'm off to the gym. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, you don't look like you work out.
Yeah. Or even just to be surprised. Really? You go to the gym often? What? Do I not look like I go to the gym?
No, it's just unnecessary. There's so many other things we could say to connect. Then age. Now, this might also be pretty unique to American culture. We're only speaking for American culture here. But staying away from age. Age is such a problem. Oh, gosh, tricky topic in our culture.
Right. And both older and younger, right? So if you think you're complimenting someone looking young, you say, you don't look your age. Oh, I can't believe you're 40. You don't look it. Something like that is still uncomfortable making, as we say. It's still sort of awkward.
Yeah.
And then maybe someone sitting next to you is like, so what do you say? Are you saying I look 40? It's just strange.
Yeah, exactly. No, totally. Stay away from it. Don't say you're too young to look so tired. Here we're blending two traps, the age trap and the physical health status trap.
Because often when we tell someone they look tired, what we're really telling them is they look old, or at least that's how that's going to be interpreted.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. It's so true. And then the next bucket would be skin, face, or natural features. Yes.
Yeah. So imagine someone has maybe like a bruise or something, who knows what's going on. Yeah. And someone might say like, what happened to your face, or where did that cut? Like,
oh yeah.
I would just not mention it unless they offer.
Oh, it's so true. I know this time last year I came down with a bad case of shingles, and I had like spots on my face, and it was really like it messed up my eye for a week or two. And if this is similar to like, why is your face so red? What's going on? It's like it draws attention to you. It makes you feel worse. And then it makes the person focus a lot on their own face. They just want to get out of that and focus on whether they're working with their coworker or trying to get it go through the day. Right,
exactly. Don't ever say like, what's that on your face, or what's that? Like, just don't mention it. We all see it. We don't need to mention it.
Totally. Or don't say you look pale. I mean,
this is the same as like you look flushed, right? This is very similar to telling someone they look sick or sickly. If we say they look pale, better to just not say it.
Exactly. Or your wrinkles are shot. I don't know who would say this. I don't think anyone would ever say this, but don't make comments about people's wrinkles.
Exactly. Wrinkles, freckles, anything, or saying your hair is thinning. Any kind of statement you could make about a change in appearance is just unwelcome, at least in the United States.
Yeah. And then avoiding complimenting too, just because that implies that you've been paying attention and maybe their skin was worse the day before or the week before. Your skin looks great today. Seems like it's a well-meaning comment.
Like,
I mean, I would say
that
it to
mean
my
it
partner,
looked bad yesterday?
Right? Like, yeah, exactly. Like you would say it to your sister, your partner, maybe, but anything more than that, coworkers, friends.
And even my sister, I could see her being like, does it not normally look good?
It could start a fight. It's a fight. These are traps, guys. Traps.
Exactly.
Stay out of the trap. All right. Number 5, assumptions based on appearance. So we kind of already covered this, right?
Yeah, we covered like pregnant. You look pregnant. Also, you look stressed, or you must be exhausted, or you look like you didn't sleep. So the
stress piece is interesting.
Yes.
Because, I feel like some people will say that to me sometimes when I'm not stressed, and it's like, how can people really know what's going on internally? And
like,
sometimes I am stressed and people don't necessarily notice. It's like, what are they? Yeah. I don't know.
If you think I look stressed, how could you think it would help to point it out?
Oh my gosh,
it's just going to stress me out more.
Makes it worse. Yeah, for sure. And then I'll think maybe I am actually stressed, and then it's good. It's a bad spiral. And then grooming, like the way someone's chosen to groom themselves. What would be something to avoid?
You look better with makeup, or are you not wearing makeup today? Anything like that, or suggesting haircuts. You would look cute with a bob. I'm like, you hate my hair now?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Or you should
try
hair.
blonde.
No. Or that hairstyle doesn't suit you. I mean,
terrible.
And I think so these are traps. This is a what not to say episode. And I also think I want to put special emphasis at the workplace. If you're a man talking to a woman, definitely like just throw these out the window. Don't
unfortunately these are sort of gendered sometimes, but especially I have had and it can be a sexual harassment suit, right? If you say anything about someone's body, either gender, and make them feel uncomfortable, you could wind up in HR. So just don't do it.
Sure. Don't do it. And again, even if it's totally acceptable in your home culture, that won't fly as an excuse.
Exactly.
Right?
And better to not compliment as well. A lot of these are clearly more like criticisms, but some things that seem like a compliment, like your makeup looks so great today, right? You're like, what about yesterday? Or things that can be very uncomfortable if someone says like, your legs look great in that skirt, and you're trying to compliment them. No, that is sexual harassment. Avoid it at the workplace at all costs.
Especially that. Oh gosh. Yeah. So, all right, let's pivot into a role play, Aubrey. So in this case, we're not in a workplace. We are friends meeting to catch a movie. So we're at the friendship level here, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to see here the things you can compliment, right?
Yeah.
not appearance. All right, I'll start us out. Hey, I love that jacket. Where did you get it?
Ooh, thanks. I found it at a small shop downtown. I wasn't sure at first, but now I'm glad I got it.
It's great. I love the color, and it goes really well with your shoes.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it simple today.
It works. I like the whole outfit, honestly.
I appreciate that. You know I'm no fashionista.
Nice.
Nice.
I love this. Yes, you can compliment someone's
Yes.
clothing as long as you're not implying something about their body, right? Or their
Yes.
appearance.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a fine line between I love that dress looks good on you, and like you look good in that dress. Like there's shades
It's so
of gray
true.
here.
That's
It's
a good
tricky.
point, right? The way you
Yeah.
phrase something is either complimenting their actual body or complimenting the clothing. Everything here was perfect. I love that dress. It is such, what a great color. But if you say you look good in that dress, then you're
Yes.
complimenting their body.
Yeah. Yeah. And with a friend going to the movies, you might get away with it. But again, don't make it a habit, because then you take it into work and you could get into trouble, or a more like people you just don't know, right? And at a networking event or something.
Definitely.
Wow.
So tricky.
This is a what not to do episode, Aubrey.
Yes.
This is really good. Is there another episode our listeners could go to if they love our style?
Yes. If you missed 2579, scroll up and check it out. Don't undermine your English.
And
So
that
just like
one-
you don't want to undermine relationships. Yeah.
Yes. And don't want to undermine anything here, but that one's coming out tomorrow. Today's 2578. So guys, don't
funny.
forget.
This is a stay tuned. Be sure to
Yes.
listen to tomorrow's episode.
I think the call to action here is hit follow, so you don't miss
Yes.
2579 tomorrow, guys. Really
Love
good.
it.
Aubrey, any final takeaways?
Yeah, this is so important for connection. Often we're
Yes.
teaching you the phrases to use to connect. Today we're sharing in U.S. culture things you should not say to break the connection. Don't comment on someone's physical appearance, whether it's that they look tired or anything about their body. This can be very offensive in American culture.
For sure. Yeah. And take some time after this episode to reflect which of these are acceptable and are not in your own culture, because we know that some people are translating directly from their own language. Even if we don't agree with that, we try to get away from it. We may be translating thoughts, right? So it's almost like we have to change our thoughts as well in some ways.
A lot of this may have been very surprising to you if it's very accepted in your culture and you're surprised to hear that anyone would find it offensive. Or you might think they're just reading too much into it. That's not what I intend. In the United States, we do. We read into it. We're assuming intention that's probably not there.
Yeah.
So you just have to avoid saying it.
Just play it safe. Play it safe for more success and more connection. There you go, Aubrey.
Exactly.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks for the episode today. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.